So my family, Maria, Scout, Robin, and myself, we joined the Urban Abbey about, I'm going to say 8 years ago. And soon into our Urban Abbey experience, we got involved in a small group. And we've been in, I think, 5 small groups now. And the first four um, only went for one season. And a season is like 4 or 5 weeks together. And for whatever reason, each one of those small groups just didn't continue, whether it was a travel issue or maybe it was someone just stopped coming to the Abbey or maybe it just wasn't clicking. But I am so thankful that I continued to want to be a part of a small group because I think it was the fourth or fifth time a home run was hit. It really was. Sierra, who used to be here regularly and employed here, was the matchmaker, if you will. She reached out to me and said, Joel, I've got a couples that are significantly younger than you, but I think they, would really love to be in a small group. You told her? Oh, okay. But she said, would you give this a try? And we loosely knew one of the couples and then didn't really know the other couple at all. So we hosted the first one, and there just seemed to be something different and special that was happening, an authenticity that just started right from the bat. And it has just flourished and blossomed, and we are in I think, our 4th year now of being together. The Van Z's, the Smiths, and the Walkers. We've gone from those concentrated 4 or 5 week times where we meet to really meeting on our own outside of those small group seasons about every other week. And we've just been there for each other through some really hard times, good times. We've had lots of social events we've done. We've taken, our kids have been dropped off at places when we needed help. We brought meals to each other in difficult times. We've sat and listened a lot. And I think the greatest thing about our group is that, sometimes we talk about the questions that we get from Deborah each week. And most of the time we get through all of them. But there are weeks where someone has had something really difficult happen. And the group just suddenly pivots and we start by checking in with each other. And sometimes we can just tell when we're checking in with each other about how it is with our soul that for that week, it needs to be just time and attention on that one person. And so there's times where we just don't get to the questions, and that's really okay because that person just needs a lift. And we've got enough trust and rapport built with each other where we can ask the hard questions of each other. When we see someone stuck, we can maybe go a little deeper and ask a tough question to help them maybe think about something or get unstuck or just love on them. And so it's just been absolutely wonderful. And I encourage you, if you've not been a part of a small group, to reach out to the staff here and ask to be plugged in. It can be a life-changing thing. This is absolutely a Bethany place for me to rest in my small group. So I hope that you can find something similar. And thank you, Deborah.
About 5 years ago, I went out for happy hour with some girlfriends. We were all in our mid-20s, enjoying our careers and relationships. We talked about the latest fashion trends, what our nighttime skincare rituals were, and if we liked our margaritas spicy or skinny. It was nice. It was fine. But there was one issue. None of my friends' moms were dying. At 25 years old, my husband, Alex, and I were recently married, and our honeymoon phase quickly went out the window as we turned into caregivers. We lived in this weird duality. Many of our friends were enjoying the simple pleasures of their 20s with little turbulence, while our lives and marriage were deeply struggling in grief. No one really wanted to hear about our issues. No one really knew how to help. We felt alone. We were new to the Abbey, maybe 1 or 2 years in. We enjoyed church each week and the occasional food-centered gathering, but we weren't connected with anyone outside of what was your life-giving moment of the week. One fall, as small groups began forming, Sierra connected Alex and I with 2 other families, the Smiths and the Walkers. We had seen them a few times before, but didn't share much more than a hello. Now we would be invited to their homes to share time in reflection and prayer. We approached it as a 6-week commitment to try and deepen our relationship with our faith and possibly have some nice conversations that were a bit deeper than, should I get bangs? 4 years later, I can share that these two families are truly some of the nearest and dearest friends. Our gatherings very quickly melted into relaxed and easy-flowing conversations. There was no pressure to host lavishly or present as perfect. It was 3 imperfect couples with their arms around each other, walking along the crazy life path. I was clearly the messiest at first, often showing up in tears and sharing my pain. But rather than brushing off my worries or moving on to a less downer topic, my small group sat and listened. Sometimes they asked questions, and sometimes they just said, "That sucks." My small group carried me through the darkest winter, literally and figuratively, as we continued to meet bi-weekly for the rest of the year. I could count on those Wednesday nights to bring me a glimmer of hope and love. It was the first time I had truly felt safe and seen. We've all taken turns being messy at this point. 4 years later, other life events have arisen with new babies, family worries, jobs, insecurities, and celebrations. We've welcomed newborns together with baby food tastings and celebrated birthdays with root beer tastings, and often send texts with a funny meme. We loosely follow the 6-week established small group meeting times, but we pretty much see each other regularly just as a group of friends. I know there's a time and place for happy hour friends, and I'm so glad I have those people too. But in the moments of deep vulnerability, rawness, and need, you've got to have people that will hold you without conditions. You don't have to do hard things alone. There are people who can love you, warts, dead moms, and all. Joining a small group gave me an opportunity to try and trust new people. Making friends as adults can be hard, but through weekly conversations, uninterrupted intentional time, and a little bit of patience, a beautiful relationship emerged among us all. It takes courage to open yourself up among strangers, but it can be magically rewarding and safe to do so. To Joel, Maria, Jesse, and Peyton, I thank you for your friendship. More so, I thank you for showing up, truly showing up. Showing up for the first 6 weeks and then having the open-heartedness to show up more. We've shown up for each other going on 4 years now, and I don't intend on stopping. Thank you for holding hard spaces, listening intently, offering wisdom when needed, and showing that God shows up. God doesn't throw up. Maybe he did. Through people. He went to too many happy hours. For those looking to deepen their connection with others in the Abbey, join a small group. I pray that all groups can mesh and jive as well as ours did. It was truly a lifesaver, and we deserve people who love us like that. Keep an open mind. If you're going through it, the right people will walk right beside you. And remember that age is just a number. Wisdom and experience know no age, and mixing with folks different than you opens your eyes and heart more. Be vulnerable, show up messy, and you might just get a new group of real friends.
If you want to consider or explore that feels right for you, I want you to think about it for the next few weeks. And we'll begin groups again in Lent, which is coming just around the corner.